The recent rain and heavy flooding means waterlogged vehicles like these will soon hit the market.
We knew there'd be some out there somewhere. Sometimes it takes them 3 to 6 months to show up on the market.
Tom Walls, president of Plaza Ford in Bel Air, Maryland, is being extra vigilant. He makes his staff pull vehicle history reports and conduct vehicle inspections before bringing any used cars on the lot. But even that won't save him from getting soaked.
There's still going to be some that slip through.
Like this 2000 Lincoln Town Car. It's being partially cleaned to be sold at auction. A cursory look doesn't reveal any significant water damage, and therein lies the problem.
Flood-damaged cars, there are ways to reconstruct them, to clean them up and so on, so they don't look flood-damaged.
MotorWeek's car guru, Pat Goss, shows me what to look for starting in the trunk.
In here, we can see a few stains where it hasn't been cleaned yet.
The muddy mark could be anything. Pat checks around the taillights and pulls back trunk panels to search for debris.
As soon as you pull that back.
Oh yeah, the smell is horrible on this.
A strong musty smell means mold. We found plenty in the trunk, on the back seat, even along the door panels. Pat checks under the hood.
Even though this is a flood-damaged car, we have some really confusing information here.
He says the corrosion on the engine isn't a definitive sign. Neither is the rust. And there isn't any noticeable dry, brittled wiring. But the best way, he says, to discover true flood damage is to put the car on a lift. Pat does a thorough inspection, pointing out debris and nooks and crannies, including this unusual accumulation of leaves.
This is what you mean by you've got to get underneath the car.
Got to get under the car. This is where you find the truth.
Industry experts warn that it's not just used vehicles that succumb to water woes. This 2011 Ford F-150 looks brand new on the outside, but inside is a different story. There's caked up mud everywhere, along the door panel, in the air vent, in between the seat folds. This vehicle is being used for educational purposes, but it's a cautionary tale of buyer beware.
One of the biggest issues with flood-damaged vehicles is the electronics. This right here is one of the truck's computers. You can barely see it, but if we pull back the panel, you see all that wiring and the mud attached to the connectors? It too has been damaged by water.
The result of that is you may have brake issues, you may have steering issues, the computer for the engine may go haywire and it damage the engine. There are just tons of problems like this.
Prospective buyers should also check the car's title to see if it has been branded flood damaged.
We in Maryland put it down here, and as you see, it's very obvious.
Buell Young of the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration says coding varies from state to state. His agency does their best to warn consumers.
For years, we've had information on our website addressing this issue.
A vehicle history report also provides flood damage information, and there are government databases that identify waterlogged wrecks. A new California law marks cars with a red sticker if there's a problem. Walls would like something more uniform.
There needs to be a national system somewhere, and the National Automobile Dealer Association has been working on that diligently since Katrina, but they just haven't been able to get it through Congress yet.
So despite tighter controls and industry safeguards, consumers need to do their homework to avoid getting into deep water on their next vehicle purchase.